My brother wrecked my paintings, so I painted his worst sin and turned him into my portfolio. My portfolio for the Rhode Island School of Design was 80% complete. 6 months of charcoal studies, oil landscapes, and figure drawings. Location, the single-car garage. My designated studio. I left for 90 minutes. Grandma needed groceries. Post-cataract surgery logistics. I returned. The garage door was open. The center of the room was occupied by a 2008 Kawasaki Ninja. Rust on the tailpipe. Blue book value, $1,200. My easel was shoved into the corner. My drying rack was tipped over. 3 canvases were face down on the concrete. Condition, soaked in a mixture of rainwater and 10W30 motor oil. Status, total loss. The villain, Nathan. Age, 20. Occupation, unemployed/professional gamer. Residence, parents' basement. I walked into the living room. He was playing Call of Duty. Headset on. You destroyed my portfolio, I said. He didn't pause the game. I needed to park the bike. If I leave it on the street, it gets stolen. You shoved wet oil paintings onto a dirty floor. He finally looked up. He laughed. Relax. It's just a hobby. That bike is a depreciating asset, sure, but it's worth more than your scribbles. You're a terrible artist anyway, he said. Art is supposed to make you feel something. Your stuff is just flat. Nobody is going to pay for that. Get a real job. He went back to the screen. He thought the conversation was over. It was just the creative brief. I went to my room. I retrieved a fresh 36 by 48 canvas. Heavy grain. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I mixed paint. My subject matter was the incident. Date, November 12, 2021. Time, 1:15 a.m. Weather, heavy rain. Nathan's blood alcohol content, 0.09. Driver's BAC, 0.14. They were coming back from a party. They wanted to pick up girls. They ran a red light at the intersection of Oak and 4th. Impact velocity, 45 miles per hour. The other car, a Honda Civic. Passenger, a 6-year-old girl. Outcome, fatality. Nathan wasn't driving. He got 100 hours of community service. He served it at a library, complaining every day. He never mentioned the girl. He acted like the victim because he had to take the bus for a month. I spent 72 hours on the piece. I used a palette knife for the asphalt. Sharp, aggressive strokes. Gray and black. I used a high-gloss glaze for the rain. The lighting, harsh yellow street lamps reflecting off shattered glass. The focal point, a small, indistinct smudge on the wet road. A suggestion of a pink winter coat, and the figure standing over it. Nathan, hands in his pockets, looking down, detached. I didn't paint a face. I painted his posture, the slump of his shoulders, the apathy. I titled it, Collateral Damage. The collision. Tuesday, 6 p.m. Dinner prep. I hung the painting in the kitchen. Eye level, directly above the coffee maker. The lighting was perfect. Nathan walked in. He was looking for a Red Bull. Hey, I said, I need a second opinion. You're the critic. He scoffed. I told you, I don't care about your. He stopped. He dropped the Red Bull. The can burst on the tile. He didn't notice. He stared at the canvas. The color drained from his face. He went pale, then gray. His eyes locked on the pink smudge in the road. He recognized the intersection. He recognized the car. He recognized himself. What is this? His voice cracked. It's an assignment, I said. You told me art is supposed to make you feel something. I stepped closer. I didn't blink. Well, do you feel it? He started shaking. Tears. Real, ugly hyperventilation. He collapsed against the counter, sliding down to the floor, sobbing into his hands. The apathy was gone. The memory was unlocked. My parents ran in. What happened? Is he hurt? I started cleaning up the spilled energy drink. He's fine, I said. He's just critiquing my work. Nathan couldn't speak. He couldn't even look at me. He crawled out of the room and locked his door. Result. Nathan parked the motorcycle on the street. It hasn't moved in 3 days. I took a high-resolution photo of the painting. I submitted it to the RSD admissions board. Title of the portfolio submission, The Art of Accountability.